seemed like Xavier Thomas had a couple nice catches there. What have you kind of seen from him maybe this offseason that is kind of springing him to maybe have some freshman reps there?
He's been really explosive in the offseason and has done a lot of really good things. And I think, we are going to have to check him out and see if he's ready to play. I mean, got to give him a little time in order to, learn things, get comfortable. But no, he's explosive and does a lot of good things.
When you don't have pads on, what are you looking for from your offensive line, maybe specifically left tackle?
Effort, and see if they're mirroring and covering their guys, and sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. There will be times, especially in the run game, where it's distorted because nobody has pads and they pull up, and occasionally somebody, whether it's offense or defense, pulls up less than the other guy, so it gets kind of distorted. The run game's the toughest part.
Coach, Montez Sweat wore a Mississippi State pullover yesterday during his media opportunity. I noticed you guys are sending out those boxes. How important is it to kind of stay plugged in with the former players?
I've always thought it was really important. As a matter of fact, we've done that. We did it at Washington State, and we did it at Tech, and then I was glad to see that they put it together and did it here. Because, I think it's really important. I mean, that's the best advertising you get, and plus it's on a national scale.
Coach, obviously a big hole with Charles Cross gone in left tackle. Just so far, what you've been able to see from Dollar Bill and Percy this offseason?
Doing some good things. Dollar, I think, has taken a step to the positive. He has to keep rolling, keep improving, but I think overall we have a chance to have more depth, even though maybe not one guy quite to Charles's caliber yet.
And Dollar Bill's step, what's different about him?
He's just sort of put it all together. He's gotten his body better. He's lost weight. He's tightened it up. And then it's, it really kind of clicks for him. He's more consistent.
What's been the, and apologies if this has already been asked, but what's kind of been the biggest thing that you've seen from Sawyer kind of today in the last couple of weeks to take a step forward? I thought
his pass scale was only so-so. I thought his team, he did a good job in team. And curiously, he plays team better than skill. Usually it's the other way around. But he had a good team period today, I thought.
I know you always said that there's always a competition and for all those positions, but I mean, how much of a competition do you envision and how much do you see there right now between Will and Sawyer?
It's difficult to say. We got to watch it on film. I mean, some of the physical things Sawyer can do are impressive, and then we got to see how it all links together, to be kind of a day-to-day thing.
Obviously, it's been a while since Jordan Davis has been on the field for you guys. I guess, what do you see from him that maybe shows that he could make a pretty immediate impact upon returning this year?
He's good. He's explosive. He's got, long limbs, and he's a tough guy to stop. He's always had really good effort out there and still does, and a guy that's been through a lot of adversity, and so, he's used to battling against things, and you can tell.
What have you thought of the newcomers in the secondary, like Jackie Matthews?
Some good stuff. He was here in the spring. He's really fast. That's one thing that he is. He is an inordinately fast guy. So he's, and he has to keep improving. Sometimes he's fast the wrong direction, but no, I think he's getting better.
How much? Go ahead, David.
When you're setting up a practice plan in preseason, how much of it depends on the experience of the team, the age of the team, the personnel you have, as far as scripting the types of practices you're going to do this first week or so?
Well, a lot of it. The format's the same. The general plays are the same, but it's how far you can go with technique, and then you try to limit what you do scheme-wise, because none of it's any good if you can't execute it.
You have so many guys back this year, and I know you're going into year 3 here, and you have so many of those guys that were there from that first year. I mean, how much does that kind of impact morale, the fact that you have all these talented guys and all this experience here in fall camp?
I think it helps. It feels like we have a stronger locker room than we've had.
The players that were at SEC Media Days talked a lot about kind of the momentum that this program has with the jump and wins, particularly last season. But after dropping the last 2, how do you feel you guys as a staff were kind of able to maintain that momentum and not have a dry spell maybe toward the end of the year that carry over?
Well, I think a number of things. One is get older. 2 is COVID was kind of a big obstacle, especially the bowl game. We were down 18 guys. And then, you know, in some cases there were imbalances as far as how many scholarships one team to the next had. And we were on the low end. You know, we had 78. Some had as many as 98. But we just got to play better. Just keep doing the same thing, do it better.
You mentioned Jordan being back and all the adversity he faced, but Jordan Davis, the football player, you were talking about how good he's looked. How much of a security blanket kind of is that for you to know that you're not just getting him back, but someone playing at a high level that you've seen?
Well, we have more D linemen playing now than we did in spring, so that's good. I mean, you know, just the force and push-up field is a lot more consistent. More guys doing it.
I know we'll know more over the long haul, but as far as condition of the team coming out of summer workouts, how did you feel they came back physically?
Seems good. Seems like we're in better shape than we've been the last 2 years.
What have you seen from the secondary guys, you know, replacing a guy like Martin, who third rounder, going to contribute for the Browns, very talented guy. What have you seen from those guys in the secondary? What's your confidence level in that group?
I think they've improved. They're a work in progress, but they've improved.
Talking about the defense,
there's more clarity to what they do.
Do you think that's like, are you confident in that group to be able to fill the void of his production?
Collectively, yeah. I mean, it's not one guy does anything. I mean, collectively, I mean, it's about the whole unit. And then, you know, all these guys that nobody's ever heard of. I mean, the previous guys everybody references, nobody heard of them at one time.
Coach, Will Rogers had the third most prolific passing season in the Southeastern Conference last year, but it seems like he's not getting any preseason respect. What are your thoughts on all that? What does he need to do to get some respect?
He'll probably do better this year. We need to just do better, you know.
How do you compare you guys coming into this year in terms of your confidence in this team heading into a fall camp compared to your other 2 years? Would you say this is the most confident you've been in this group?
Well, we're more familiar with one another. There's more guys that have played together.
To kind of
Was it
follow on
last
that,
year?
can you go further faster when you've got as much experience as you do, especially when you're talking about getting ready for a game in 20 some odd days now?
Yeah, the older guys can help the younger guys, not always verbally sometimes, but you know, by example. You get better film as far as we want it like this type of thing, so you get examples on the screen.
Was it last year that the NCAA cut back days in camp, days in pads, that sort of thing?
No, I forget. They do that all the time. Shoot, this particular year, I mean, you know, they've been running in a circle for a long time, and you don't know what shoots out of the circle. So, who knows? I mean, you know, the only surprise would be if there's not more surprises.
I'm just wondering if you saw a difference in that with your planning and in camp last year.
Not really. Not really. We've always kind of done the same thing on a no pads day. I mean, the contact's different, but we do the same format, the same drills.
You were talking about the condition of your team earlier. It's obvious several of these guys kind of transform their bodies. Can you speak to Tyson Brown and the job that he's done for you the last several years?
Well, I think our strength staff does a really good job. They keep a certain variety. We're good at elevating speed, bringing guys back, and we got to keep that up.
How'd Ra look today?
I thought he was average.
We look at the shuffling you guys have there on the offensive line and trying to fill some holes. I guess how important is it to have the Quinton Sharp back kind of anchoring that line with his experience as well?
I think it's really important. He's kind of the leader. Also, you know, he's you know, really good as far as you know, just kind of vocally leading the group.